one will change the other one a little bit, but you just kind of go back and forth until you get, because you know, on the machine, you know, there's like a green area, where if the arrow's in the green area, close enough, there's a tolerance, okay? It doesn't have to be exact. It has to be somewhere in the green. So, yeah, one side will change the other a little bit because they're connected, but in the rear, it doesn't do that, because your rear wheels aren't connected, they're independent of each other, right? Because they don't steer. So if you do a rear toe adjustment, you can adjust one side and it won't affect the other. But in the front, it does a little bit.
And if you don't do it right, once you start driving, it's gonna start like, oh,
It can do all kinds of funny things if the alignment's off, yeah. All kinds of funny things that are not comfortable to drive. So, we're gonna go through wheel alignment principles in this chapter, and the last one is actually talks about performing your wheel alignment and how to do it, that kind of stuff. And then we're all done.
We have this chapter and that's it, you said we're all done?
Two more. This one and then the one after it is actually goes into doing it, okay?
How many more ASCs do we have after this one? 3?
Well, we've done 4, so we have 4 more.
Okay.
Yeah, that wheel alignment or diagnosis, alignment diagnosis and service is the last chapter, so almost done. Tomorrow we will be doing a review of everything we did, anything you want to go over like we did before. We'll do the test for 119, 125. And we'll talk about the ASE. You missed the last one, right? No, we didn't do one last week, that's right. That's right. So you didn't miss that one, right?
you said it starts at 11, I was wondering if you could go over here actually. If possible, so you can take that much.
You
I feel like
can, you,
I'll typically change it, because I don't want to miss that day.
yeah, it'd probably be a bad idea to miss that day. If you can reschedule, see if you can do that, just let me know.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Okay.
Tell her
Yeah,
it's for
just-
the better of your future.
Just say it'd be a bad day to miss.
I don't know, because she needs that one day. I'm just gonna tell her to do it another day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll work out. So, if everybody's gonna be here, we'll do it. Okay, I guess if we're only missing you, hopefully we're not missing you, but I guess you'll just have to make it up on Monday then. But,
Oh, so
Alright.
you mean that if like more than one of us is missing, that we won't have to do it?
oh,
till
don't
next-
go there, don't make up excuses not to be here, so you can have some more time.
No, no.
We gonna
Not
do it
gonna
without
that
you.
again.
We doing it without you. I did not like that. Waiting for the next week.
You didn't like it?
I did not like
I
doing it on a
know.
Monday.
I liked it doing it on Monday because it gave me more time to study, but I didn't like that we did it
Well,
on
see,
Monday.
that's the thing, if you do study, if you do use the time wisely, it's helpful, but if you don't, it's probably, not to your advantage, because you probably forgot some of the stuff that we just talked about, or
Because if
whatever.
you think about it, if we started Monday, we wouldn't be doing any more chapters right now. We would be studying and going over stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Let's continue.
are we ready?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Let's see what we got here. We are going to define wheel alignment, discuss alignment-related problems. What happens if it's off? Define terms like camber, caster, toe, SAI. Anybody know what SAI is? The caster, camber, toe should be familiar with you. Those are common alignment terms. Okay? If they're not familiar to you, they will be. Anybody know what SAI is?
I've heard it.
Steering alignment.
Steering is correct. Steering axis inclination is what SAI is. And we'll talk about that. Okay? Fluid angle, scrub radius, turning radius, setback, thrust angle, all that kind of stuff.
This is the category I like.
Importance of four-wheel alignment. Normally, you're only gonna do a four-wheel alignment on a vehicle with what kind of suspension?
Electric.
Come on, you can do it. What's that? Not four-wheel drive, four-wheel what?
Steering.
No. You're only gonna do a four-wheel alignment on what?
Is
type of rear suspension would you have to have in order to have the car meet a four-wheel alignment?
What type of suspension?
What type of suspensions are there?
Just went over it.
Hydraulic?
Don't
I'm talking about suspension type, not steering type.
don't tell us.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell you. We might be here for a while.
It's okay. Alright, so what type of suspension?
Or you could even answer it this way. What type of rear suspension would not require a four-wheel alignment, just a two-wheel on the front?
If it doesn't have a rear dip,
What's that?
if it doesn't have a rear dip,
Right, yeah, if it's a solid rear axle, if it has a rear differential. Of course, well, you know what, that's not true either, because it could have a rear differential and be independent rear suspension, but you were on the right track. A normal, solid rear axle vehicle, not gonna need a four-wheel alignment, because there is no adjustments. Okay, the wheels, they are what they are, okay?
Can you say that one more time, please?
If it has a solid rear axle, you're only gonna do a two-wheel alignment on it, not a four-wheel. Okay? We'll get to that. An alignment is the adjustment of the suspension steering to ensure proper vehicle handling with minimum tire wear. That is basically all it amounts to. Makes the car drive nice, makes it handle good, and put minimum wear on your tires. If your alignment's off, your tires will wear out rapidly.
Independent rear suspension.
Independent rear suspension would need a four-wheel alignment, yeah. That is the answer to the question. Change in alignment angles may result from one or more of the following conditions. Worn parts. Something wears out, the angle changes a little bit, right? You got play in there that you're not supposed to have, okay? Bent or damaged steering or suspension parts, that should be pretty obvious. Sagging springs, which can change the ride height of the vehicle, and therefore the alignment angles. If you lower your car or raise your car, typically people don't raise cars, they will do it on a truck. But if you, let's say you lower your car, it's gonna change the alignment angles, okay?
So if you lower your car, you get an alignment right away.
You should, yeah. Also, if you change any suspension component, you should get the alignment done. Change the spring, you change the control arm, you change the bushing, you change the tire rod, anything like that, okay? Wheel alignment related problems. A pull. Now, these are terms that they're gonna talk about probably in test bikes and stuff like that. You have to know the difference between a pull and a drift or a lead or whatever. This is how it's defined. A pull is generally defined as a definite tug on the steering wheel toward the left or right while driving on a straight level road. Probably everybody's driven a car at one point in time that had that going on, right? Where you're driving on a straight level road and the car wants to go a certain way. And you almost have to put effort on the steering wheel to keep it going straight.
Some of my dad's is. But I got a question. So his is like that, but so my car when I'm driving, like I just have my arm straight, no problems. I can just hold it and just drive, no problems. My dad's car, I'll have it straight, and then it like turns, and then I try to turn to fix it, and it's loose, so I gotta kind of like do this the whole time just to stay straight.
Yeah, you're constantly compensating for what it wants to do, right?
Yeah, but it, like if I turn a little bit this way, it doesn't do anything, so I gotta actually kind of put a little extra pressure to it, just to go, still stay straight on like a 45 mile per hour road. Is there anything wrong with the steering column, you think, or just his
Probably
alignment?
just needs an alignment, most
Talk
likely.
to him and let him know, 'cause
Yeah.
that's,
A
he's
lead-
77 years old, I don't want him to
Yeah, right?
deal with none of that.
A lead or a drift. That means it's a mild pull that does not cause a force on the steering wheel that the driver must counteract, okay? It just kind of drifts or wants to lead off one way. Sometimes roads are built with what they call a crown in them. They do that to run water off of them, so water doesn't puddle on the roads, okay? So normally, if you're driving down the road and your car is aligned perfectly and there's nothing wrong with it, you can let go of the steering wheel, and a lot of times, eventually, it will drift off to the right a little bit because of the road crown. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, all right?
Me when I first started driving, for some reason I couldn't stay in wrong with the wheel, but it's just me, like, every time I hold it straight, I just go this way, I'm like, oh.
I think everybody, when they learn how to drive, has a little trouble keeping
I
the
think
car
it was
between the
me.
lines, cause, you know, you don't have that muscle memory, you don't have that, you just experience it, what you have to do to keep the car in the lane, right? I think everybody goes through that.
I asked one of my cousins, like, what's the hardest thing about driving, staying in your lane? I'm like, you're gonna struggle trying to stay in your lane. I was like, okay.
Right.
And now it's just like muscle memory.
Yep, nothing to it now, right? Okay, wander, that's another one. What does that mean? That means, you know, when somebody wanders, they don't really know where they're going, right? When your car does that when you're driving down the road, it doesn't really know where it's going either. It's a condition where constant steering wheel corrections are necessary to maintain a straight ahead direction on a straight level road. Everybody's watched a movie where they're showing somebody driving down the road, right? You ever notice they're constantly doing this?
Yeah.
Because they're not really driving, it's a
Yeah.
movie, right? So, what they're demonstrating there is a wander, where they have to make constant corrections to keep the car going straight.
This is kind of random, but just coming off what you said. I was in a group call with a bunch of my friends that I played a game with, and we all had like a little movie night.
Uh-huh.
We were watching Fast and Furious 6,
Okay,
and like I guess I'm like the only guy that like knows what's going on in the group when they're driving the cars. They're doing all these cut off scenes back and forth from them. And there's this one scene that pissed me off. They were trying to get into the back of the plane with the car, and then it like did like a quick shot. He's driving in a Charger, and the Charger's automatic, and
okay.
he hit the shift knob, or he hit the the shifter, and it's already in drive. Like he just hit up. Like, what the fuck are you shifting? Like there's nowhere to go. You're already in drive.
Yeah, you just put it in
He
neutral.
just like hit it. He didn't even put it didn't go anywhere. Like the quick shot was just, it stayed there. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, what the fuck? And they're like, what happened? I'm like, you don't gotta go back, but the motherfucker hit the shift knob trying to shift up in an automatic car. They didn't know what I was talking about, and it made me mad. I don't know why.
Yeah, that gets confusing. Like, you're in an automatic car trying to shift up and
Yeah.
You can do that, you can manually shift an automatic, but
Yeah, you can.
once it's in drive, that's it.
But
There's
that's the
there's
thing
nothing
with
else.
the Chargers. If you do that, it has to be over in that manual gear, so you can upshift
Right.
and downshift.
Yeah,
It was like in the middle. It was
Right.
an old school Charger where it didn't
Right.
have that option.
right, I know what you're talking about.
So it's just,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything.
Okay, stiff or slow to return to center. Hard steering problems can be caused by problems with tires. Somebody hit the button on the key fob.
That sounds like one.
I've done that before. Sometimes I go out to get my car and the trunk's open or something like that because I hit a button with it.
I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. My button don't even work. I gotta get my key fob calibrated.
Tramp or shimmy vibrations, up and down, side to side vibrations caused by normally out of balance tires, problem with the wheel, something like that. A pull usually finds the tug in the steering wheel on one side or the other, which we just talked about. Here's an exaggerated picture of the crown of the road. Refers to the angle or slope of the roadway needed to drain water off the pavement. That's why your car will typically go to the right a little bit if you let go of the steering wheel when you're driving on a straight level road, okay? Wander, that's the TV show condition. Constant corrections needed to keep the car going straight. Okay. Our first alignment angle definition, camber. Everybody should be familiar with this term. You see cars driving around all the time where they think they're cool, they're excessively negative cambered, and tires look like this.
Yeah.
Looks like shit. Inward or outward tilt of the wheels from true vertical as viewed from the front or rear of the vehicle. So if you're looking at the rear or the front of a vehicle, let's say this is your tire, this is your camber, okay? Either this way or this way. It will cause the tires to wear out. It can cause a pull if it's unequal side to side. Incorrect camber can cause excessive load on the wheel bearings. Camber is not adjustable on some vehicles. Positive. Positive means the top of the tire is angled outward, okay? That is positive camber. That's not normally what you see when people do the extreme camber, things on the car. They do it negative, right? Where the tire is tilted inward, like this, right? Okay, that is positive camber. Obviously, negative camber, okay? Dotted line represents true vertical, solid line represents the angle of the wheel.
Any car got a positive camber?
What's that?
Any car drives on positive camber?
Not usually.
Some like off-road, like, what's it called, like trophy truck kind of cars, it's not intentional, but sometimes when they're driving and they put a lot of power,
Yeah,
they
you'll-
get
yeah, you'll
positive
see that.
camber.
Yeah.
and then like once they let off and it goes back down to a
The
little bit
reason
of
that
negative
happens is
control.
because the front end comes up.
Yeah,
The
so it
tires-
comes up and it goes
you-
up
you
and
get
then it
that
goes down.
automatic suspension drop, which gives you positive camber. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. 0. Angle of the tire is true vertical. Okay, we're gonna go back a couple of slides. What did you miss there? Did you see this? Did you see the positive camber? So you know what negative is, right? Negative is the inward tilt of the top of the tire, right? Okay. All right. Excessive positive camber, how the tires would wear. This only makes sense, right? If the outside shoulder of the tire is worn, it's excessive positive camber. Look at the tire. Where's it gonna wear? Right here, on the outside of the tire, right? If it's negative, where does it wear? Inside of the tire, right? I mean, it's simple just to figure it out, right? This is a tire. If you got positive, it's gonna wear on the outside. If you got negative, it's gonna wear on the inside, right? It's simple. Nothing hard about it. Excessive negative camber inside of the tire, all right? On your positive camber, what happens is it tilts the tire and forms a cone shape that causes the wheel to roll away or pull outward from the point of the cone, which will cause your car to pull. Negative camber creates a pulling force toward the center of the vehicle, which is why that wears out wheel bearings in a hurry. Another disadvantage of doing ridiculous things like that. Okay. If camber angles are different from one side to the other, this is one of the things you gotta remember, so commit that to memory. The vehicle will pull to the side with the most camber. Positive camber applies the vehicle weight toward the larger inner wheel bearing. This is desirable because the larger wheel bearing is designed to carry more weight and more force than the smaller outer wheel bearing. Again, here is excessive negative camber. It applies the weight to the smaller outer wheel bearing. Excessive negative camber therefore may contribute to outer wheel bearing failure. Now, just so you know, most of the time, there is no inner and outer wheel bearing this on cars. Most of them have sealed bearings with the hub. this is what they would be talking about if it had this type of bearings, okay? So this would be your inner, this would be your outer, okay?
I haven't seen that. That's not, you said that's.
It's not common. It's on older cars. Yeah. Most of them have just a sealed wheel bearing with the hub assembly as part of it. In fact, remember when we watched the video of Chris rebuilding that suspension on that, whatever it was, I don't even remember, Toyota or something. He pressed a wheel bearing into the knuckle. It's just one bearing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're just using this description for vehicles that would have an inner and outer tapered roller bearing, older style stuff, all right? It still stresses out the wheel bearing, but just, there's no inner and outer. Okay. Zero camber. Okay. What did I tell you to remember a minute ago? What are the effects of unequal camber? What are they?
The vehicle will pull to the side with the most camber.
Okay.
Bless your soul.
Okay, what is this one?
Caster.
Caster. Definition. Forward or rearward tilt of the steering axis in reference to a vertical line as viewed from the side of the vehicle, not the front or the back. Caster is not a tire wearing angle, but positive caster does cause changes in camber during a turn. So, anybody done an alignment? We talked about that a minute ago. What's one of the first things the machine asks you to do? A camber sweep, right? Has you turn the tires all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. It's called a camber sweep, okay? Caster can cause a pull if it's unequal. It is a stability angle. Some vehicles it's not adjustable on. And it should be equal on both sides.
How are you supposed to tell caster from looking at the side of the car?
Well, read what it says. The rearward
Yeah.
or forward tilt of the steering axis in reference to vertical line as viewed from the side of the vehicle. There you go.
Oh.
Zero caster, positive,
Okay, I got you.
negative,
I got you.
okay?
Oh.
Okay. Now this, you remember on the camber, you're looking at it from the front or the rear of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at it from the side.
So if you're
Okay.
looking at it from the side and you're underneath the vehicle looking at it from the side,
You can't be underneath it looking from the side. If
well,
you're
if you're
underneath
doing an
it,
alignment,
huh?
if you're doing an alignment, then it's up in the air if you're doing an alignment.
But if you're under the car, how can you see it from the side? That's what I
You
was
just
looking.
said that you're looking at the. Am I
From the
not-
side, if you're like standing outside in the parking lot looking at the side
Oh,
of
you're
your
saying,
car.
oh, from the
Just
outside.
as an
Yeah,
idea.
Oh.
from the, let's say you're going to get in your car, you're looking at the side of your car.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sorry, okay. I'm like, I'm strict on the alignment and looking underneath of it
No,
during the alignment.
no.
That's, okay.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Was anybody else confused on that?
Uh,
No? Okay,
No,
well,
just me.
how's it feel to be the only one? All right,
Usual.
zero, positive, tilt toward the front, right?
But if you are conducting the alignment and you're underneath the vehicle and you're looking at it like that, would you still be able to see that difference?
Probably not,
No,
because
okay,
it's so slight.
okay.
That's why you have to put it on a machine that knows what every angle is, because a lot of times you can't look at a car and tell it's out of alignment. I mean, obviously if it's bad you could, but sometimes you just can't tell by looking. Okay, so obviously negative, just the opposite, all right?
I have a question on the steering wheel. When you drive, why does the steering wheel get out of line? How is it so it's straight, right?
Yep.
And out of nowhere, you get in your car, you know where this is straight now.
It shouldn't be out of nowhere if something happens. Normally, if you're driving straight down the road and your steering wheel isn't straight,
Yeah,
the toe is off, the toe adjustment.
you just gotta adjust it for the alignment and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Alignment will fix that. That's why you lock the steering wheel in the straight head position when you're doing a toe adjustment. All right. Negative caster is seldom specified by today's vehicles because it tends to make the vehicle unstable at highway speeds. Negative caster was specified on some older vehicles equipped with power steering to reduce steering effort. As the spindle rotates, it lifts the weight of the vehicle due to the change of the steering axis. Usually tends to lower the spindle, which returns the steering to the straight ahead position. And obviously, high positive caster would provide a road shock path for the vehicle. We don't like that. Okay, we talked about the steering dampener before. Basically, just shock absorber laying sideways on the steering, center link. Not going to see it on a rack and pinion steering. You see on the old style like that, but it just it prevents steering wheel kickback if you hit a bump or a hole or something in the road. Okay. As the load increases in the rear of the vehicle, the top steering axis pivot point moves rearward, increasing positive caster. Caster angle tire wear. Remember this too, caster is not generally considered a tire wear angle, okay? Note how the front tires become tilted as the vehicle turns a corner with positive caster. The higher the caster angle, the more tilt the front tires will have, causing camber type tire wear. Okay, how are we doing on this question? How does incorrect caster affect tire wear? Remember, typically caster is not a tire wear angle. But if it's incorrect, they're asking how would it affect tire wear?
Is that the feathering thing? Or no, that's just with the toe, right?
Caster is not a tire wearing angle, but too much positive can cause changes in camber during a turn, so that would wear the tires excessively during a turn, but normally it's not considered a tire wear angle, all right? Our next one is toe. We've covered caster, camber, now we're into toe. Toe is what?
Is the difference in distance between the front and rear of the tires?
Okay. If these are your front tires, okay, and you're looking at the vehicle from the top down, right? This is toe, okay? It's like the toe on your foot, right?
So pigeon-toed or duck-toed?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay? Okay. Difference between the front and distance between the front and the rear of the tires. Incorrect toe is a major cause of tire wear. Incorrect toe does not cause a pull condition. However, it will cause the steering wheel to be off center. So you can be driving straight down the road and the steering wheel is not straight. Okay? Toe adjustment. All vehicles have a front toe adjustment. That's another thing you have to remember. That is one adjustment that is available on every car. Okay? Front toe. This is one of the times when this is actually correct. Many vehicle manufacturers will specify a slight amount of toe-in to compensate for the natural tendency of the wheels to spread apart as you're driving or become towed out. Okay? Meaning a little bit of toe-in, right? Natural tendency of the vehicle to have the tires toe out a little bit as you're driving. Okay? So it'll say, maybe specify a little bit of negative, so as you're driving, it kind of has a natural tendency to toe out a little bit. And it kind of compensates for that. Okay? Okay. Now we're looking at the car from the top down, obviously, right? Zero toe. What does that mean? Both tires are parallel to each other as viewed from above the vehicle. You ever seen somebody do a home wheel alignment with a tape measure?
Yep. And counting the threads.
Yeah, so what you do is, obviously, your tires have like thread, right? So they'll put it in like the tape measure here, like in the, say, the third tread block or whatever, and then go over to this one and measure this, and then measure this. And you can get it close with a tape measure, if you know, doing it yourself at home. Get you close enough that the tires won't wear out by the time you get to the alignment shop. But, yeah, you can do that. Since you missed that, because you were gone a minute ago, I want you to tell me what alignment angle is available on all cars. What alignment angle is adjustable on every car? Some adjustments aren't even available. The manufacturer doesn't even specify an adjustment for certain things on cars. One of the things that's available, adjustment that's available on every car is what? Alignment angle. We're talking about alignment angles. Alignment angles. What are your alignment angles? Just what we talked about.
It's on your foot.
The front toe adjustment is the only adjustment that's available on every car. Okay? Okay. This is toe adjustment. You're looking at the car from the top down. Okay? Tires parallel to the center line.
So the fronts are called toe?
What's that?
The fronts are called toe?
Yeah, the inward or outward tilt of the tires. Okay?
And you can get on every car has something like that.
Every car has a front toe adjustment. Okay? Some adjustments aren't available, like some cars, there's no rear toe adjustment. It's a solid rear axle. It doesn't have a rear toe adjustment. There's nothing to move. Okay? Toe in. Expressed at an angle because both front tires are tied together through tie rods. The center link toe angle is always split between the two front vehicles when the vehicle moves forward. That was probably what you were talking about when you were watching the alignment machine. They were doing one adjustment for a toe, then the other one moved a little bit. It's because the front tires are tied together through steering link.
Even if you hold the steering wheel, oh, that's why, is that why they have the steering wheel thing, to hold it in place so it doesn't move?
Mm-hmm. Toe in is also called positive, okay? Another thing you gotta remember. Toe in is called positive. Okay? If the wheels are towed in like that, that's called positive toe. Negative would be out. Okay? So out is called negative, meaning the front of the tire is tilted outward, okay? That's called negative. What is the major tire wear angle out of the three?
Front,
Little toe.
What's that?
toe, front two.
Out of those three, I don't need new markers. Out of caster, camber, and toe, which one is the major tire wear angle if it's off?
Toe.
Incorrect,
camber.
toe.
Oh,
Toe.
okay? This one. Got to remember these things or you will not make it through the test.
Why is it toe instead of camber?
I'm looking at the.
What's that?
Why is it toe instead of camber?
Camber will cause wear on the inside or outside of the tire, but a toe adjustment being off will wear the tires a lot quicker. And I'll tell you why. Let's say this is your tire, okay? And you're looking at it from the front of the car, okay? Let's say it's got some negative camber. It's gonna wear the tire out right here, right? But the tire's still rolling on this part of the tire. If the toe's off, you're actually dragging the tire across the pavement. It's actually scrubbing the tread off the tire as you drive. You see what I mean?
And that's how you get bald tire. Or the wear on the inside.
Okay?
Um,
Excessive tire wear angle is the toe. Caster is not considered a tire wear angle. Camber can wear it on the inside or outside edge, but not nearly as quick as toe adjustment being off, okay? Everybody got that? Okay.
on the picture of the bald tire,
Uh-huh.
that tire says 1 month old. So
Yeah.
the fact that toe does that is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I thought camber would do it a lot quicker, but yeah, toe.
Yeah, there you go. This tire is 1 month old. That's how fast toe adjustment will wear a tire out.
You don't hear it like squeaking or like.
Because it actually is dragging the tire across the road at an angle it's not supposed to be at. At least if the caster's off, or camber's off, it's still rolling the way it's supposed to roll. You're actually dragging the tire if it's towed off, okay, in or out.
Do you like hear it squeaking or like making noise?
What's that?
Do you hear like the tire in the front making any noise if it's always on?
It would have to be really bad, but for the most part, you probably wouldn't hear it.
You wouldn't feel it in the steering or? you
Not
wouldn't-
necessarily, no. But your tires will let you know in a hurry. All right. Says the toe out is the type of tire wear that can cause the sides to wear of both front tires. Toe in, type of tire wear that can occur to the outside of both front tires. You ever heard of a feather edge tire? Caused by toe in or toe out, and you can tell which is which by rubbing your hand over the top of the tire.
Is
Believe it or
that,
not.
I'm sorry, is that also considered a choppy tire?
It can be, yeah. There's a difference between a cuppy tire though, and it's typically described as a feather edge.
Okay.
So, if, you couldn't really tell by looking at the tire, but if you took your hand and you just rubbed it across the top of the tire, and you felt this feathered edge, okay? It'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, okay, so it's more felt and not seen,
Right.
because the choppiness, you
Right.
can see that.
Right. Mhm.
Okay,
Okay. We'll get to that in a minute.
okay.
Rear toe, unlike the front, can be different for each wheel because the rear tires are not tied together, right? See how the front tires are tied together through steering linkage?
Mhm.
The rear is not. So, unlike front, the rear can be different. Each wheel, each vehicle moving forward, if they're not tied together. Incorrect toe can cause the tire to run sideways as it rolls, resulting in a diagonal wipe. That's what causes that feathered edge, because you're actually dragging the tire sideways down the road. Diagonal tire wear, you see in the picture there. Toe adjustment, these are on the older vehicles that have those tie rod adjusting sleeves. The rack and pinion cars don't have this type, it's just got one nut that you loosen up, okay? This one actually has a sleeve. When you rotate this sleeve, it moves this tie rod in or out. One of these is left-handed thread, one's right-handed thread, so all you do is just loosen these two bolts, rotate this sleeve, and this will move in or out. That's your toe adjustment on that type of front steering. This is what I was talking about. Whenever the toe setting is not zero, a rubbing action occurs that causes a feathered edge type tire wear. Quick, easy method to determine if the toe is the problem is simply to rub your hand across the tire tread. If it feels smoother moving your hand toward the center of the vehicle than when you move it toward the outside, it's excessive toe in. Opposite effect is caused by toe out. This may be felt on all types of tires, including radio-ply tires, where it may not be seen as a feathered edge. Just remember this: smooth in, toed in; smooth out, toed out. That's how you remember it. Okay? While the feathered or sawtooth tire wear pattern may not be noticeable to the eye, that's why they tell you just rub your hand across the top of the tire tread. Okay? Smooth in, smooth out, toed out. Remember, toe in is also called positive. Okay? Toe out is called negative. What is the most significant effect of incorrect toe adjustment? Excessive tire wear is absolutely right. Okay. This is your SAI, or steering axis inclination. This is the axis. It's the angle formed between true vertical and an imaginary line drawn between the upper and lower pivot points of the spindle. Provides the suspension location, causes the spindle to travel in an arc when turning, which tends to raise the vehicle. Okay. The SAI causes the spindle to travel in an arc when the wheels are turned. The way the vehicle is therefore used to help straighten the front tires after turn and help give directional stability. Okay, included angle, that is the SAI added to the camera reading front wheels only. Included angle is an important angle to measure for diagnosis of the vehicle, handling, or tire wear problems. For best handling, both included angle and SAI should be within half a degree of each other from side to side.
There's like a big bump on the tires. Is that not mean anything?
If there's a what?
Is there a bump? You see that bump on the tire on the ground?
Or like that?
Can't you tell like something like that? It's like there's a bump on your tire. Like a circle bump, like a bump when it's on the floor. You know how like it looks like a bubble?
Uh-huh.
Does that mean anything to you? Like, you didn't feel
Like it's deflated?
Yeah, that makes flat, yeah.
That means it needs air.
No, but what if it's on the tire pressure? Like, what's exactly what the sensor says? And it looks like that,
You're talking about when the tire's inflated and there creates a bubble.
No, when it looks exactly like that, you see a bubble when it's on the ground?
Yeah.
Does that mean anything?
It's flat.
But what if it's not flat? What if it's
That's
tire?
only gonna happen if it's flat.
It should look normal if it's got the right amount of air in it.
That doesn't mean anything too.
Unless the car is like 10,000 pounds. Even if you didn't have it up to the right PSI, it still shouldn't do anything.
Oh, that doesn't match something.
Nah.
I wouldn't worry about it if the tire pressure's right. Yeah. Okay. Camera is normally adjusted by adjusting your moving SAI, which is your, includes in your camera sweep when you do that, when you put it on the line sheet. Included angle on the SLA type suspension, that's the short long arm. Included angle is the SAI and the camber angle added together.
Excuse me.
Okay, cradle placement. If it's not replaced in the exact position after removal for a transmission engine, clutch replacement, something like that, the SAI camber and included angle would not be equal side to side. Because of the shift and a little bit of play in the bolts, sometimes if you do that, it will mess that alignment angle up.
Oh, excuse me. You know, this is all very technical, but an alignment takes like 10 minutes and it's so quick and easy.
As I mentioned before,
Several times.
describing how things work and how to do things in a classroom seems much more difficult, much more technical, much more brain confusing than actually doing it.
Mhm.
I mean, to do it is so much easier than to explain how to do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
One of the techs that Landon told me this one story, the guy, he really didn't really know how to do alignment that much, but he did an alignment one time on a car. And they sent it off to the customer, and the customer says my steel was not straight, it was like an angle. And then they went up to, they went up to a tech and said, you didn't do the alignment correctly, like, that's how you're supposed to do it, it's how the steering wheel's supposed to. And we're like, I was like, he was like, that was confused, I was like, what, yeah, he didn't know how to do it correctly.
Yeah,
So the wheels were straight, but the steering wheel wasn't straight,
right.
so.
Maybe he didn't have the steering wheel holder on, blocking the steering wheel when he tried to do the toe adjustment,
Yeah.
but
So, like,
something got messed up on it, yeah. So, what did you say a minute ago? You reminded me of something I wanted to say, I forgot what.
I said it's so much
Easier
easier.
to do it.
Oh, right,
10
right, right,
minutes,
right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's kinda like, you two know how to cook, right?
Mhm.
You could probably whip up your favorite chicken parm and nothing flat or whatever, right? But to tell somebody that doesn't know how to do it, how to do it, it would seem
That's a
complicated,
fact.
wouldn't it?
That's a fact.
You see what
So-
I'm saying?
I was trying to help my friend because you know how easy it is to make like banana Foster crepes, right? It's super easy, but I was explaining it to him. We're like, how the fuck am I supposed to remember that? Because it's
It's
a
a-
bunch of different steps, but it's simple when you
It's
do it.
like
the
30
same way,
minutes.
it's the same way
Yeah.
with this. Just like she said, this is all technical and confusing and whatever, but you put a car in an alignment rack and you can do an alignment typically in a few minutes.
Mhm. Like if I
Well,
were to
one of the reasons
simplify,
is the machine knows everything and it tells you. It will even tell you what tools you need and what to adjust to
Yeah.
adjust it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, you can just go, okay, what do I need? Oh, you need an 18 mm wrench, and you need, and it'll tell you what you need and which way to turn it, and it's not hard to do. It's just hard to explain. So don't let this stuff get you down, all right? And believe me, you still have to pass the class.
we're gonna pass the class.
Right? Everybody's gonna do that? Want to see everybody at graduation?
Yes.
Remember, you have to maintain 70% or over. A couple of you need some work, okay? Failure is not an option.
So since we got gowns, do we have to dress formal?
You got gowns?
You gonna show up like this, huh?
I
You got
sure am.
With
I'm
a
taking
gown
that
over
gown
you?
off and going home.
You can put whatever you want underneath it.
Okay, cool.
Pajamas.
Yeah, you can wear pajamas underneath
Yeah,
it.
put clothes on,
I'm gonna
okay?
be comfortable. I'm wearing that gown the whole time. You gonna be watching me go. You gonna watch me go up the stage with some slippers on.
Don't do it.
Nah, I'll wear this and I'll put some dress shoes. Make it look like I'm wearing something nice.
Yeah.
And when I get out, look stupid. Got some nice crocodile dress shoes, but you wearing shorts,
Right.
man. What's going on?
Okay. Your scrub radius differs to the distance between the line to the steering axis center line and the wheel of contact point of the road surface. That make any sense? No.
Maybe.
Yes,
Scrub
because,
radius is not adjustable and cannot be measured. So, don't worry about it. Not adjustable and cannot be measured. Bent spindle can cause a change in scrub radius, changing tire size or wheel, and affect it as well.
scrub radius is basically just the tire's contact to the road,
Okay?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
teach us.
That's all it is.
Teach us. Tim.
Steer offset.
I'm just making sure I understand it correctly.
Oh, good. Teach me, because I don't understand it either.
It's just steering offset.
It's usually built into SLA suspensions. Negative scrub radius is usually built into McPherson's strut type.
Toot.
I don't think we gotta worry too much about that. Maybe we're going through SAI. Intersects the road center line. Yeah, okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. This is a, what they call TOOT.
Two.
Yes. That's what they call this. TOOT. What is that?
So,
Toe out.
Toe out on
turns.
turns, right? Whenever a vehicle turns a corner, the inside of the wheel has to turn a sharper angle than the outside, because the inside wheel has a shorter distance to travel. Turning radius is non-adjustable. Symptoms of out of specification turning angle include tire squeal during normal cornering, scuffed tire wear. To provide handling, the inside wheel has to turn a greater turning radius than the outside wheel. So if you're making a left turn, let's say your right, or your left front tire turns 20 degrees, right tire will only turn 18 degrees. All right.
So I don't get that. I don't get what the, and I'm sure it's very easy, understandable. I don't get what the turning radius has to do with the alignment. Because I mean, I get that if the alignment's off, the tires are off and all that, but what is the turning radius?
If you have like negative or positive toe, depending on your turning radius, one side can be almost equal to the other side, when the other side, when the inward turning side has to be a little bit off from the other side. So if you're turning left, this side, like how the picture says, it's 20, and then the opposite side be 18.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, I think it was positive toe where they go in, right? Positive toe when they go in. It could be about the same, and then the inward would be less than the outside. And then, you gotta make sure it's lined up the right way so you're not burning your tires up every time you turn,
Gotcha.
something like that.
Okay.
Would that be acceptable?
Pretty close, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Go out on turns achieved by angling the steering arms. And just to throw another one in there, how about setback? Angle formed by a line drawn perpendicular 90 degrees to the front axle. Setback is non-adjustable, even though it may be corrected. Not something you'll have to worry about. Can be measured with a four-wheel alignment machine.
See, I don't get how it could be set back though. Like, how does it set back just because it's not a little, oh, never mind. I see in the picture, it makes sense, okay.
Okay, cradle placement affects setback. Okay, you've seen everybody's seen this at the dealer probably one time or another where somebody's got an engine or something out of the car and they drop this whole cradle, they call it, or frame, subframe, right?
Yeah.
Drop this whole thing out of the car.
Yeah.
If they put it back in there and it's not exactly straight, it can affect this, right?
Okay.
Now, sometimes, some manufacturers finally got smart. What they did is they put these alignment pins in here that went into holes in the body. So when you put that back in there, you can't get it off. See what I mean? So what I'm getting at by that is let's use this little cap as an example. Okay? Whenever you put a bolt through something, let's say this is the engine cradle, there's a little bit of wiggle room in here, right? So you could tighten this like right here or right here. There's a little bit of wiggle room here, right? That's the adjustment, and it only needs a little bit to mess it up, okay? So if they put these little alignment pins in here, when you put that frame back in there, it can't go but one way, which is gonna be perfect. So the little wiggle room in the bolts don't affect the cradle placement. But not all of them do that, but. Okay, 0, thrust angle. Angle of the rear tires as determined by the total rear toe. Total rear toe setting determines the thrust line or the direction the rear wheels are pointed. That's all that is. Zero thrust line, you can see the rear wheels facing straight ahead. Thrust line to the right. Rear wheels are kind of pointed to the right a little, to the left a little. Thrust line is determined by the rear toe, okay?
I got a question. I'm a little ahead. I saw they brought dog tracking back up.
You're not ahead, we're right there.
Oh, never mind.
Alignment condition of cause by having the rear toe angles out of line.
Well, I was already on the next one. I just wanted to ask you a question. So, I've watched a couple, like drag racing videos recently, and a lot of the race trucks around there were dog walking. Is that something that some people just don't care about when they're racing, or?
On drag racing?
Yes, it was Silverados, F-150s, and they were like built for racing.
I don't know, I'd have to see that.
I've seen it that's like maybe like 4 or 5 of them out of all the trucks that are on there. They're just going down the strip and they're just slanted sideways, going straight. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I didn't know if that was something that they just don't care about, something that they see as beneficial, or I don't know. I don't see why it would be beneficial.
It shouldn't be, I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it wouldn't be done purposely that I'm aware of.
You think too much torque can make that happen?
It could, yeah.
Cause that might be what it
It
is
might,
then.
it might be, trying to twist the frame.
Yeah.
Slide just a little bit, yeah.
Because they take off, they look good, and then halfway down the track, they just start
Yeah.
slowly, the back
Mhm.
end just starts coming out, and then you see them going straight. I'm like, that's weird. It's odd.
Okay, tracking. The rear wheels should track directly behind the front wheels. If the vehicle has been involved in an accident, it's possible that the frame or the rear mounting could cause dog tracking. Remember when we did leaf spring suspension? Car's dog tracking. One technician says the broken leaf spring center bolt could be the problem. The other guy says the rear shocks could be the problem. shocks have nothing to do with it. If the center bolt is broken on a leaf spring suspension, causes the rear axle to be out of alignment, okay? Changes the thrust angle and messes up the track. Proper tracking, front wheel steered toward the thrust line. Improper tracking. Rear wheel's not aligned with the front wheel, basically is what tracking is. Four-wheel alignment refers to checking or adjusting all four wheels. It's important for proper tire wear and handling. And the next chapter will get us more technical. Now that we've described the basic wheel alignment principles, we'll go through this again too. I know it's hard to grasp in one,
Oh, you got the colored one?
You got the colored one. Which means that was the first one to come off the printer. The rest of these I just copied. Because otherwise it wastes too much paper. It prints out 7 inches. You know, we need one. So that's why I do it this way. So if you're not lucky enough to get the color picture, don't feel bad. still working on that. One, only one? Two? Okay.
I'm done.
Hmm?
I'm done.
Okay. Okay, how about we start in the back again? Let's see how you do back there.
The top of a tire is tilted out and viewed in front. This is considered to be positive camber.
Yes, sir, it is. Okay. Which should make the next question really easy.
A.
Right, Terrence?
Yeah.
What angle is shown in this drawing? The one it just described here,
A.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The vehicle pulled to the side. These positive cams. Faster. True.
That is true. What line angle is shown here, Charles? Toe in. All right.
Two.
Oh, that's already.
We're going backwards.
Yep, it's you, Joe.
What term refers to the distance between a line through the steering axis and the center line of the wheel at the contact point with the road surface? Don't know.
Is it SAI? No.
Look at the last 6 words of that question.
Contact point with the road surface. Scrub radius?
Yep. Number 6.
Number 5 is A.
Yeah.
Yep.
Many manufacturers specify some degree of zero toe.
I think it's none.
A.
A, yeah, who said
Oh.
A? Some manufacturers do specify some degree of positive toe, because as the car travels, it has a natural ability to toe out, or
Okay.
tendency to toe out as you drive.
A.
Okay, the first 6 questions are all A, okay?
Oh shit.
You got A for the first 6 questions.
So for number 6, because I looked on page 1530 for that, but it's on 1529 in the first paragraph, right? Many manufacturers specify some degree.
Okay,
Because I got my answer from page 1530 where it says many vehicle manufacturers that's on number 7. Many vehicle manufacturers specify a slight amount of toe-in to compensate for the natural tendency of the front wheels to spread apart. That's
Okay.
where I got that,
okay,
but
but
based off of that, I said
here's where you lost the connection.
Mhm.
Toe in and positive toe are the same thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, number 7.
Okay, an excessive negative camber will cause which of the following? A,
D.
All of those,
okay.
all of those. Yeah, if you kept reading, you would've got that.
Yeah.
Okay, H.
Which angle unequal from side to side and most likely to cause full of good? A.
A is correct. Number 9.
There's a maximum amount you generally allow for camera side to side differences. A.
Half a degree, yep.
What page was that on?
It's on,
Be on 1525.
yeah, at the top.
Camber can cause it to pull if it is unequal side to side. The vehicle will pull toward the side with the most positive camber. A difference of more than half a degree from one side to the other will cause the vehicle to pull.
Oh.
Number
see.
6.
I looked at number 3. Camber is 0 degrees if the tilt of the wheel is true vertical as shown. Okay, thank you.
Number 10, let's see how we do with number 10. Who are we on?
Me,
You, we are on you, that's right.
if the top of the steering wheel axis tilted 2 degrees towards the rear of the vehicle, this is called,
D. Positive caster.
D.
Is it D? Yes, it is. In case you didn't notice, if you had just gone down this test and marked A for every single answer, you got 80%. There's only 2 questions that were not A. So, just
Still got
as a
80%.
thought on that, you're taking a test and you're like, oh, that's A, and you got like 5 or 6 of them in a row, don't think you messed up,
I'll
because
never
that's
trust
possible.
it. I'll never trust it.
Because sometimes people freak out and they're like, oh shit, can these all be?
Camber. Oh no, toe. Toe.
Okay,
Toe.
which alignment angle is most likely to cause tire wear?
Toe.
The toe.
Included angle is camber and SAI.
Yay, good.
Many manufacturers specify some degree.
Did that one,
So no, we
what
didn't.
angle is
That's
shown
toe.
in the
We
drawing?
did camber. The first one. This one's toe.
We did 3.
No, that was no. we
Positive
did that
toe.
was for
We did 3.
camber,
C.
wasn't that?
Positive.
It's positive toe.
That one was toe. So yeah, it was A. Okay, what alignment angle is shown in this drawing?
Rear
Center line. Thrust angle, thrust angle.
Thrust angle,
That's A.
okay? Rear of the vehicle.
Positive camber means the top of the tire is tilted outward.
That is correct.
Which statement is / are true about included angle? Both?
It's calculated by adding camber and SAI, and it's only on the front. So that is correct.
Excessive towing will cause tire wear, tire, shit, in the middle of the tire.
Excessive
Inside
toe in.
shoulder.
Here's your tire, looking at the top of the vehicle. Where's the tire gonna wear?
side.
Inside shoulder.
You right?
If it's, so if this is in, right?
Mhm.
So how's
If,
it?
if it's towed in, it's gonna wear on the outside edge of the tire, because you're forcing the outside of the tire toward the
Makes
front
sense.
of the car.
Okay, that makes
Right?
sense. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. If the turning radius, toe out on turns, or toot is out of specification, what part or component is defective? The spindle is bent. Radius, toe out. Turns,
I'll give you a
toot.
hint, one of them is bent.
Control arm?
All of the above. Oh, it's the strut, right?
Nope.
I thought they were talking about the Fearsome strut on that.
Who can guess this one?
Steering arm.
Steering arm.
Steering arm, yeah, there you go. Steering arm
The
bent.
caster is adjustable for a given vehicle. How does the technician adjust it?
You can't, right?
The reason it says if
I'm
is
just gonna
because some
say-
manufacturers don't specify a caster
I'm gonna say
adjustment.
D.
All of these are ways to do it, right?
Yeah. Which alignment angle is adjustable on? all
This is the
vehicles?
question I asked you when you came back into the classroom, what is it?
So,
Okay,
Toe.
front toe to be more specific. Okay. Okay. Let's do the questions of book and we'll break for lunch. All of these except are symptoms that may be corrected by alignment, except for one of them. Which one of these could not be corrected by doing an alignment on your car, parents? Question number 1, 1536. Get with the program here.
For number one,
Yes.
A,
Negative.
B,
B is the correct answer. Why? Because that is a balance issue, tire balance or wheel problem, something like that, okay?
Oh, Wonder was one I had to.
Cannot be corrected with alignment.
what is Wonder again?
Wander?
Like this.
That's where you have to constantly make steering corrections to keep the car going straight, because it wants to just kind of wander, right? Okay, when performing an alignment, which angle is the most important for tire wear? We know that.
Toe.
Toe. Positive camber means what?
A.
Top of the tire is tilted outward. Which alignment angle is adjustable on all vehicles?
Toe.
The toe. Positive toe is also called what?
Toe in.
Toe in, right. Top of the steering axis is tilted 2 degrees toward the rear of the vehicle. What is this called?
Positive caster.
Okay. Included angle is camber
Camber,
plus SAI,
SAI.
right?
Yeah.
Which angle determines the thrust angle?
A,
No, thrust.
D.
From the back, rear toe.
Oh shit.
Remember, thrust is in the back. Remember that, okay?
It's the rear one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Rear toe for thrust angle. Two test stations discussing scrub radius. One says it can't be measured. The other says it can't be adjusted.
They're
Both.
They're both right. They're both right.
It can't be adjusted.
Can't be adjusted, can't be measured.
Performing a four-wheel alignment.
When performing a four-wheel alignment, what are the first steps taken?
Rear
This is an important one.
caster and toe.
Yep, you always do the back first. Rear camber and toe.
Camber?
What's
I
that?
thought it was caster and toe. That's what it said.
Camber?
Oh, so it's camber.
Rear
and toe.
camber and toe.
Oh.
There is no caster on the rear. Well, it shouldn't be, because they don't.
Oh yeah, there are the shocks. Okay.
All right, see y'all after lunch, we'll do the last chapter.
All right. Which is a long
Alignment
ass
diagnosis
chapter.
and service.
That's like 30 something pages.
Is there a big one?
Shit.
It's a lot.
It's like 30
It's
something
thick.
pages.
Oh, yeah,
I
it is.
checked it out earlier when I came in.
It's this thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right, we got plenty of time
Yeah,
tomorrow
we
to
got
go over
time.
everything.
I just don't like long chapters because there's a lot you gotta look for that 10 question test.
Yep,